The Good Glamm Group is actually, as you very correctly mentioned, a digital-first house of brands, which basically means that we've actually started with a bunch of brands across beauty and personal care, which are have always been digital-first, have talked to a digital-first consumer, someone who's online, who's maybe consuming content, following influencers on social, researching and reviewing ingredients online, and talking to that consumer and basically talking to her and introducing our brands to her across mom, baby, across beauty, across personal care, hair care, from this portfolio of amazing brands that we have, which include Mom's Co, Saint Botanica, My Glam, Organic Harvest, and Baby Chakra, right? So I think that is the whole premise of the Good Glamm Group, which is that how do you talk to a person who's already online, right, has an aspiration that's set by all the content and the creators that she's following online, and how do you introduce the amazing brands and the products that we have to her at relevant stages in her life as she goes through her beauty journey and a beauty awareness journey, onto her pregnancy and her parenting journey, onto her skincare journey and hair care journey. If you look at the way we're structured, right, offline is a very, very important part of who we are and what we do. We have actually about 35,000 points of sale offline already. So not only do we have one of the largest online, presence across D2C, so across our owned platforms, also on marketplaces, but we also have 35,000 points of sale offline. Now, why is that important, right? If you're thinking about building a brand in India or anywhere in the world, but specifically in India, the woman who's basically discovering the brand online, if she goes offline to her nearby store, right, to an MTGT store, and she sees the brand, that immediately resonates with her and also builds trust, right? So the offline experience is extremely critical. Number one, because it builds trust in the brands that we are bringing to market. And a woman might be discovering online in the first port of call, or she may be discovering offline, and therefore that immediately inspires her to try and purchase. But the trust piece is extremely critical in beauty and personal care. The second piece is if you think about how we live our lives, right? I mean, 80% of our lives is lived offline, right? So you have to be where the consumer is. And if she's offline, you have to be in her nearby stores. So when she has a specific need in beauty, experiencing a new lipstick, experiencing a new, a lip liner shade, right? She can actually go to her nearby store, experience it, try it on, right? Check out the texture of the cream that we are pitching to her, or the shampoo that she's going to be buying, and be able to convince her to buy. And it's easier when it's offline, she can experience, and it's in a place where she's already comfortable buying. So offline is a very critical part of our strategy. And we have a very large presence already, which we're looking at expanding further. The vision for the Good Glamm Group is to be the largest digital-first house of brands from India, right? Internationally, if you look, there are other players who've come out in a very meaningful way from other geographies, right? You look at Amore Pacific, you look at a bunch of brands, you look at Unilever as well, right? Globally. Why can't there be an Indian company that basically becomes a global player with its house of brand strategy, and brings to the global market the best brands that there are across beauty and personal care? And of course, when you couple that with the fact that we already in India have the largest content and creator ecosystem with us, right? How do we replicate what's already working in the Indian context and take it global, right? So you can imagine the entire process of discovery, engagement, setting aspiration, connecting with the consumers at a point where she's discovering a new product for herself, and then converting her to buying that beauty or personal care product for herself so that she has a better care outcome or a better beauty outcome, is basically the aspiration. And the aspiration is to be a global play. So, there are different models I've seen play out in the Indian market, but, the way that we're approaching it is that, the house of brands is a great way for amazing founders and amazing brands to come together and really build off the ecosystem that we've already created, right? And use that as a catapult to accelerate their vision and mission, right? And their ambition. So to give you a sense, right? I mean, when the three founders, basically Darpan, Priyanka and I came together, with My Glam, Popex or Baby Chakra, there was already a stack that we'd built out, which is a very highly optimized conversion funnel from content to commerce, right? We're also building out the conversion funnel from community and creators to commerce as we speak, right? So there's already a stack. There's already a stack that we have on the offline footprint, which is not insignificant, as you know, right? There's already a stack on new product development, right? And how do you make that very agile and extremely iterative and very quick, right? So these stacks already exist. So I think the whole construct with the house of brands that we have built is that when you partner with amazing founders of companies like Mom's Co or Sirona or Organic Harvest or, all of these amazing brands coming together, you're basically saying you have a strength in marketplace today, right? Let us build out the stack for you on D2C and offline, right? So it's almost like a plug and play that we're using to basically ensure that we 4x their revenues in a very quick, finite period of time with this sort of plug and play model that we've already built in the back end.